Exciting is this matchup going to be? The two dominant LA schools head-to-head, UCLA and USC. They meet up Thursday evening. Star power left and right. They're both off to such excellent starts to the season, the way we all knew they would be. And I mentioned star power. It's not just Betts. It's not just Juju Watkins. It's also Kiki Iriafen, who not only has been having a great season, but was just named one of the National Players of the Week for her work this past week. And through the magic of television, she is joining us now to chat about her season and this upcoming game against UCLA. Kiki, thanks for joining us. What for you is the most exciting part of this upcoming matchup? Two top 10 teams in the same city. What are you most excited about?
I'm most excited about trying to take down the #1 team, undefeated. They're having a great season. I think it's super special that they're also our rivals, so there's like an extra chip on our shoulder, but I think it's super exciting. Like, this is what I came back to LA for, like this big rivalry, this big game, and I think especially with everything going on with the fire, this is like a great time for the LA community to come together and watch some really great basketball.
Yeah, be a good distraction at a time when a lot of people there need it, for sure. You brought up something interesting. We're in a different time, right, where transfers happen all the time, and it's wonderful for the players. But you also get thrown into this situation where, I mean, you played these schools back when you were at Stanford, so you know them and you have a history with them. But you were never a part of a USC-UCLA rivalry. Is that sort of taught when you get there? Do you just kind of pick it up as the season goes?
I will say at SC, we really don't like UCLA. This is not even with like sports. Even in my classes, my professors are like diehard SC fans. So I think, just being on this campus, you kind of naturally fall into that, but it's all in good fun. It's all in good, it's lighthearted, but I think there's just an extreme amount of pride for SC.
You'll face up with Lauren Betts. You were teammates a couple years ago together at Stanford. What do you remember about her from back then?
I love Lauren. Like, I am one of her biggest supporters, biggest fans. I think she's just really, like, she's been able to do this since freshman year, but has the opportunity and she's just showcasing that, and her ceiling is still so high. And I think with Lauren, like, you can't really stop her, but you can try to slow her down. And I'm super excited for everything she's been doing this season, but on Thursday, I hope it goes our way.
Yeah, I bet you do. Give me the keys. What do you guys have to do to take down the #1 team?
Yeah, I think it's really for us taking care of the ball, being the more connected team, not letting them get their stuff in transition. They're a very well-organized team. They run their stuff. So I think trying to just disrupt those things, definitely trying to, not let Lauren get to her spots because she's very deadly when she gets inside. And I think, my coaches have a great game plan, and if we all just stick to that, we'll be good on Thursday.
Your season has been so great for the Trojans this year. You did have a rare loss to Iowa the other week. What can be learned from that game going forward the rest of the year?
I think that was a tough loss for us, but it came at a necessary time. I think we were able to reflect on a lot of things that we can work on. And, we were having a great season up until that point, and we're still having a great season. But I think for us as a team, we're able to get together and kind of just realign what our goals are and figure out what we need to do for the rest of the season so that we can, complete those goals. But I think for us, it's just, again, being the more connected team, taking care of the ball, and also playing with joy.
And maybe knock it down 18-1 to start off the game. That's never the best way to start a game, right?
Yeah, you're very right. We don't want to do that again.
What was that atmosphere like? You've played at high-level college basketball for years now, but that Iowa crowd is always packed, and they are always loud, and they were extra motivated in that game. What was it like for you as a visiting player?
Definitely. I think it was super exciting to play in that atmosphere. There's a lot of love and support, especially for the Iowa fans, for Caitlin. But I think one thing that I will say is, like, they were so loud you couldn't even hear yourself think. So I think they definitely had that on their side. But it was super amazing to play in that environment. The fans were super nice to us as well. But I think, those are the atmospheres that we love to play for. So we look forward to them all the time.
What did you think about the choice for you all to stay there and watch that ceremony afterwards?
I mean, it was definitely difficult, given that we had lost the game and it didn't feel good. But I think, Caitlin has done so much for the game of women's basketball that we wanted to show our respect for everything that she's done. And I think, that was something that my coach said, regardless of if we won or lost, that we were going to do. And I think that was the right decision as well.
Yeah, it came off pretty classy for all of you Trojans. Let's talk about you specifically now. Last year, You took this massive step forward in your college career. And I know you got a lot more minutes, but there's some chicken or the egg there too. You play better, you get more minutes, you get more minutes, you play better. Why do you think you took such a big step forward last season?
I think that year I kind of just finally like settled in. My confidence was honestly through the roof, and I was playing with all of my best friends, and I was just playing with so much joy. And I think the fact that I was just kind of playing carefree and not really thinking about it allowed me to perform at like the highest level. But I'm super grateful for last season, super grateful for Stanford and everything that I learned, and I think it's just helping me propel this year as well.
It's such an interesting year for you, right? You've got new teammates, a new team, a new head coach, a new league. What has surprised you the most this year so far?
I think for myself, I've been doing a lot of growing, a lot of learning. You would think like it's your senior year, you kind of know what you're doing, but I feel like not that I've had to reset, but I've had to do a lot of like learning offensive schemes, defensive schemes, because I'm in such a different system. But I'm really grateful for that because I think it again will help me for the next level. And I actually love the Big Ten. I think the Big Ten has so many great teams and so many different teams. Like one night I'm guarding a four player that can shoot and can dribble, and then the next night I'm guarding a more posty four player. So I think for me, it kind of just keeps me on my toes every night.
What are some other differences you've noticed? Again, your whole career was the Pac-12 in this year. You mentioned that the players you're playing are different, but small picture, big picture, what feels different about playing now in the Big Ten?
I think there's a lot of like coverage in the Big Ten. There's a lot more, viewership, a lot more support, even with the Big Ten network and on social media. They're always making videos for our team. And kind of just promoting us. So I think I really do appreciate like the constant outpour of content so that, people can get to know who we are and see how we play.
Tell me something about Juju Watkins that I don't know.
Okay, I mean, everybody knows Juju Watkins is a superstar, but she's such a humble superstar. And I think, playing with her has been such a joy. She's someone who comes in with so much grace, and, she's kind of like the best teammate, honestly. She's, uplifting her teammates in practice. She kind of wants the best for everybody. But I think playing with her it's been such a joy for me. I'm like learning how to play with a superstar guard. But yeah, I think this year, we're still building that chemistry on the court. And, I think each and every game is continuing to get better and better, and it'll help us down in March.
I don't know, Kiki. I think I knew all that. Tell me something I don't know. Does she have a pet turtle at home? Is she good at checkers? Is she the funny one on the team? Does she dance? Like, give me something that I wouldn't know unless I was in the locker room or hanging out with her after games.
Ju's like obsessed with acai. We have this spot on campus, Sun Life, and I feel like she's always there. So it's always like an acai bowl coming in before practice. But I mean, she's just like everybody else. Like she's super goofy. She's fun. Like she's involved with the team. Like we'll make TikToks with people. We'll laugh. There's not something super specific, but I think, it's super nice that we're all able to like just bond over like the littlest things.
Tell me something about you I don't know.
Oh my gosh, about me. Okay, some people do know this, but I speak a little bit of Mandarin, so I can say like a few things in Chinese.
Now, when we say I speak a few things, do you know like my Spanish, donde está la biblioteca? Or like, can you have a conversation with people?
I can have like a brief, like basic conversation, but if we keep going into it like deeply, I'm gonna be lost.
How much did you study Mandarin?
I studied it for 3 years in high school.
Okay. I like it. Does that have you found that useful in a day-to-day situation?
Actually, yes.
Yeah?
I speak Chinese like randomly here and there, like on different sets, I'll like say something and they're all like, oh my gosh. Like, so I definitely think I'll be using it a lot more in my future with like different NIL opportunities. But I think that's like a cool thing that I have up my sleeve.
And am I saying this right? Your full name is Okikiola?
Okikiola, yes.
What's the story behind that name? That's beautiful.
Thank you. So I'm of Nigerian descent, and my name is a Yoruba name, which is where I'm from. I'm half Yoruba, half Edo. And Okikiola basically means famous wealth. And my parents are like very, like they believe in like naming your child off of something that you want their future to be. So I kind of feel like I'm on that trajectory to living up to my name.
I think you are as well. Certainly what we have seen this season has been great. Kiki, congratulations on the great start to the year. Have a blast in this game. Top 10 matchups are pretty fun. I hope it's a blast.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.